Greetings and welcome to Chaotic Beagle Entertainment. I am your host, Chaos. How's everybody doing today? All you lovely internet and gamer hounds, you all hopefully are having some fun on the channel, watching the unboxings, enjoying things along with us. We're having a great time over here, so we're going to keep some of that rolling. We got some unboxings to still get completed. Yep. Still got some unboxings going through. Today's unboxing is going to be from a different card game. Today's unboxing is going to be on Alpha Clash. You've seen this one on the channel. We have some decks. We've got some games that we've done on the channel, kind of walking you guys through a little bit and showing you guys some of the games that we've played. This is the 2-player Clash kit. So it comes with 2 complete decks. Funny enough, if you guys have watched the channel, these are 2 decks that myself and Spartan actually run custom decks on. I have Pestilence, he has War. We've run some custom decks, had some ball, we love the characters. We have a ball with it. These characters are very much designed and pitted to go against one another, so it is always a very tense battle. It is very fun, very enjoyable. With these, having this in a 2-player kit was kind of, I kind of saw it and I was like, you know what, this is kind of perfect. So I grabbed it. There was a promo bundle at Gen Con, and actually let me grab this. So basically, if you've watched the video already, where we kind of debuted everything that I purchased at Gen Con, you guys probably already know what I'm about to point out. With the bundle, you got the 2-player kit. You ended up getting this promo right here, and you ended up getting a figure, which is a very cool character from Alpha Clash. And then you got this, which is the Siege of the Forgotten PvE kind of raid system. So basically, I believe with this, you take your custom decks or pre-con decks or whatever, and you do a PvE like raid against like bosses and stuff. So very cool, very awesome, very hyped about it. We're going to unbox this one in the next video. Today we're going to do the 2-player box set. This is going to be the next unboxing that I do and throw up on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. And then, yes, this was the an offer you can't refuse was the promo this year. It is a black identity 4 cost. This card can only be played in a PvE format, which is the raid box. Deal 3 damage to target boss, then deal 3 damage to target non-elite minion. Target contender gains 2 health. So actually, very nice card for PvE. But there you go. We got those. Got a big old bundle. And the funniest part about it was this was the last copy of the Pestilence versus War kit that they had at Gen Con. They had it in the display case. They had some other ones that I already have. And I was like, ooh, this was the one I wanted. He's like, all right, I'll give you the one in the case. I was like, can I have the one in the case? He was like, yeah, sure. So he's like, as long as I put another 2-player kit in there, I am good. So they threw another 2-player kit in the case. I walked off with this monster, and yeah, all good. So another part of this is seeing, I think from the later sets that they've released, some of the more recent sets, any cards that might help my Pestilence deck or Spartan's War deck. Definitely going to take a look and see what those upgrades might be. But we're just going to take a quick go through, real quick, just kind of looking at what's in here. Yeah, come on. Unbox this. So, thank you all for joining me. Please do like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified on future videos, and please invite any friends, family, anybody else that might be interested in this kind of stuff. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are getting there. I think we're at 500 and something. Doing our best to get there so that way we can go and start doing some bigger stuff on the channel. So please do share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I appreciate every bit of it. I love y'all for it. But here we go. This is War and Pestilence. We're going to start off with War just because I want to save the Pestilence for last. That's my boy. Really fun deck. It's all about dealing damage, and if something dies, you can draw cards and get bonuses and all kinds of really, really cool, almost kind of, not aristocrat, but kind of direct damagey with some aristocrat type skills. So this is Fierce Javeliner, 25 hit points, trigger, attack. If this contender has a weapon attached with Javelin in its name, create a 1/1 red war minion clash token. Okay, and I believe, let's see, I think the tokens, they have the tokens in here? I'm trying to see if they've got the tokens. I don't see the tokens right off the bat. Clash. War, collateral. I guess if you've got the tokens, you got the tokens. Because I was going to say, I do not see any minion tokens in here. Okay, well, I know they got them in the sets. You can get a hold of them, but yeah. So here we go. All right, let's bring you guys in a little bit closer because I do want to. I love the way these cards look. That's one of the things I love about Alpha Clash is the cards look so awesome. Kind of like with the Gundam card game, they just look so gorgeous, man. Like this one, he's got like the foiling on there, and it's got the lightning, and part of the armor, and gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That's what you have at 25 hit points and at 10 hit points at the start of the turn. If a contender has a weapon attached with Javelin in its name, War Minion Clash tokens, you control get 1/1 till end of turn, which is actually really, really nice. Alright, so that's your contender. And then you got Gravity Javelin. It's an equipment. 2 to equip, 1 to cast. Trigger, when you attack, you may unattach this weapon. If you do, choose 2 target clash cards you don't control. They cannot obstruct during this clash. Ooh, kind of breakthrough. Nice. And you've got 4 of those. And let's see, I think is everything, not everything in the deck is foiled. So you got 2 that are foil and 2 that are not there. But still, real nice, very nice. Alright, and then you got War, Harbinger of Madness, 5 cast, 3/3 creature. He has Breakthrough. You may send 1 War Minion Clash token to Oblivion. If you do, search your deck for a red contender weapon. Reveal it, shuffle your deck. So they kind of take War, and not only he's tokens. He's all about the tokens, but now they're giving him a little Voltron to add to it, which is really cool. So you get 2 copies of that, 1 foil, 1 non-foil. War, Turmoil, Turmoil Tyrant, blah, blah, blah. 3 cast, he's Observant, 3/3, trigger, when a token you control when he enters, clash tokens you control get +0/+1 till end of turn. So not too shabby. It's nice. Nice little buff for your tokens. So you get 4 there. So in this game, it is also 4 cards as a play set. So any deck can have 4 of any given card. Alright. Fire Javelin. 2 to cast, 2 to attach. Contender gets 1/1. While the weapon is attached to your contender or Clash Minion tokens you control, get trigger, defeat, deal 1 damage to target clash card. Ooh, at the end of your turn, unattach this weapon. And you get 2 of those. Somewhere in San Francisco. I think this is an older card from a previous set. Yeah. Okay. Warzone. It's a Clash Ground card. Somewhere in San Francisco was also a Clash Ground card. So basically a battleground or a environmental zone. Decimation. You get 4 of those. No foils with those. One cast, it is a action. You may only play this card if your contender is a red Harbinger icon. Target clash card you control gets 3/3/1 and breakthrough. Nice. War Battle Tactician, you get a full set of those. That is another clash card. So he's 2 to cast, 2/2. When he enters, if the portal is open, create a 1/1 red war minion token. That token can't be obstructed or be the target of clash buff this turn. At the end of the turn, send this token to Oblivion. So basically gives it haste. War the Provocateur. Had to learn my English again. War the Provocateur. 2 to cast, 1/2. Whenever this card is dealt damage, you may choose one. Deal 1 damage to another target clash card or activate the portal. So if the portal's closed, you activate it, it opens. If it's open, you activate it, it closes. Alright, War the Strifebringer. 4 to cast, 3/3. Clash card. Clash cards are basically creatures, if anybody is kind of missing that reference. Enter, you may activate the portal, and then create 2 red 1/1 Harbinger minion clash tokens. Nice. When he attacks, if the portal is open, you may engage any number of clash tokens you control. If you do, till end of turn, this card gets breakthrough and +1/+0 for each token. Nice. So when you engage them, it's tapping. Bardigan Warhorn. 3 to cast. It's an accessory exclusive. Okay, so you can only have one of these out at a time. Let's see. Trigger, enter. When it enters, create a 1/1 war minion clash token. At the end of your turn, if the portal is open, create a token. Nice. Alright, Rally the Forces. Or Rally Forces. 1 to cast. It's an accessory. Counter. When you attack, you can use this to, when there is an attack, you can counter. For each opponent, you have create a 1/1 red war minion token. Okay. Not shabby at all. Spoils of War, 1 to cast, and another accessory. When a clash token you control defeats a clash card, you may send this relic to Oblivion. If you do, target clash card you control gets 2/2 till end of turn. Nice. Rampant Rival. Until end of turn, it's a 3 cast, 2/2. When it attacks until end of turn, this card gets 1/0, and each war clash token that is for each war minion clash token that attack this turn. Okay. Whenever a war minion token is defeated, this card gets +0/+1 till end of turn. Create a 1/1 minion at the end of turn. Or one, if he's defeated, that's what it is. If it's defeated, then you get another minion. Alright, we got Battle Paragon. 6 cast, 6/4. This card gets undisputed as long as you control 3 or more clash tokens. Woo, nice. Alright, Collateral Damage. So some of these cards are from previous sets. Some of them are new to the most recent set. Collateral Damage, 2 cast. Counter on attack. Deal 3 damage to target attacking clash card. Then if the portal is open, you may pay 2. If you do, deal 2 damage to another clash card. Ew. Pokey pokums. And then the last one here, I am Chaos. Sounds pretty accurate. You would think this would be the kind of deck that I would go for, which normally would, but Spartan wanted it. He was wanting to run it, so I was like, that's cool. I got somebody else. But I mean, it's right along my lines. Let's see here. If you control War Contender, this card costs 1 less to play, so it'll cost 3, but if you have War as a contender, it'll cost 2. Send target clash token you control to Oblivion, then deal 2 damage to target a contender or clash card. If the portal is open, you create 2 1/1 red war minion tokens. You got a set of those. So, all right. Not too shabby. Some nice new stuff in there. Lovely, lovely contender there. Oh, yeah. So that is the War deck, which sounds pretty spicy. Some nice new stuff in there. He's got some javelins they can chuck and, do some other stuff with. So very hyped on that one. All right. Let's see what we got here. Now, this is my man, Pestilence. He is green, 25 health. And this is the Toxic Presence. Once per turn during your primary phase, you may move any number of toxic counters from a permanent you control to target clash card. Okay. Once per turn, whenever 2 or more toxic counters are put on a clash card you don't control, target player discards 1 card. Ooh. So this is going to add a bit of discard to the Pestilence deck, which is a pinger deck. Basically, it's just, you take some damage, something dies, I get cards. I had to take a drink there, a little dry throat. All right, and then once it hits 15 life or less, non-pestilent clash cards you don't control with 1 or more toxic counters lose all abilities. Oof, 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 oof. That's brutal. That is brutal. Man, okay, jeez. And he is 1 attack, 0, which is the same. War is also 1 attack with 0 defense. So, okay. Let's see what we got here. We got Pestilence the Virulent. 1 cast, clash card, 0/1, trigger. When it enters, put 1 toxic counter on target clash card. When it's defeated, put 1 toxic counter on target clash card. So, very nice. I like that. Yeah. All right, and then we got Pestilence, Harbinger of Desolation. That sounds nasty. Exclusive card. Okay, so you can only have 1 out. Trigger. When it enters, you may put 1 toxic counter on this card. Then, for each permanent you control with a toxic counter, you may put 1 toxic counter on that permanent. Ooh, doubles your toxic counters. Clash cards you control with 1 or more toxic counters get triggered defeat. You may move any number of toxic counters from this card to target permanent. During your primary phase, you may remove 5 toxic counters from this card. If you do, target clash card gets -5, and loses all abilities and effects loses all card effects and abilities till end of turn. That's disgusting. That's a 5 cost for 3/4. Woo! And they only give you 2 of them. So 1 foil, 1 non-foil. That's disgusting. That's nasty. All right. So it's kind of a proliferate kind of deal. All right. Affliction Giver. 3 cost, 3/3. Trigger. When defeated, clash cards you don't control with toxic counters on them get -1, -1. But it's only 1. Even if they have 5 counters, clash cards you don't control with toxic counters on them. So you could have 10 counters on it. It's only going to get -1, -1. But still, that's a lot of... So this versus the War deck is pretty nice because a lot of the minions are 1/1s. So them being 1/1s, you can basically just kill them off. That's nice. That's real nice. All right. The Pandemic Warden. 4 costs for 2/4. Whenever this card deals clash damage to a contender, that contender's controller discards 1 card. If a clash card is discarded this way, non-Harbinger clash cards get -2, -2 until end of turn. Nasty. That's nice. Low Earth Orbit. It is a clash ground. When it enters, the portal's open. Target clash card gets -1, -1. Nice. And portal costs 1 less resource of any color to activate. Well, that's... I mean, if you want to be able to manipulate the portal, that's good. If you don't want to be able to manipulate the portal, that's not a good card. So, just a heads up. Mayhem Maker. This one we've got in our deck already. 2 costs for a 1/1. When it enters, target contender or clash card gets -1, -1 till end of turn. Then you draw a card. I use this in my other deck a lot to ping his little 1/1 dudes. Yeah, it gets pretty nasty. Infestation. This is an action card. 1 cost, 1 green. You may only play this card if your contender is a green harbinger. And then target contender or clash card you control gets +3/+0 till end of turn. And then target opponent discards 1 card. So that one's already a card that we've got in there. I don't know if I have a full play set though, so I'll definitely have to run through and check that out. Pestilence the Repulsive. Enters, discard a card. Nice. 2/5 for 3. That's good. That's pretty good. I like that. All right. We got the Noxious Alleyway. I don't have this. Let's see. 2 costs for Clash Ground. 2 green. Counterattack. You may engage this card. If you do, move 1 toxic counter from a relic you control to target attacking clash card. Clash cards get -0, -1, or -1, -0 for each toxic counter on them. Ooh. At the end of each player's turn, if they control a clash card with 1 or more toxic counters, their contenders lose 1 health. Woo! Okay. That's the Noxious Alleyway. I need to get a couple more of those. I'm pretty sure I do not have that one already. All right, and then we got the Plague Bringer. This is a pretty general one I've got in my other deck. 4 green. Enter... Trigger for when it enters, clash card. Target clash card gets -3, -3, and if it's defeated, if the portal is open, you may put a target clash card with an initial resource cost of 1 or less from your Oblivion on top of your deck. And that's a nice way to get like Defiler's Vial, which is a accessory. Put a toxic counter on this card. Once per turn during your primary phase, you may engage this card. If you do, put a toxic counter on this card. So you can kind of stack these up, and then when you blow it up, you can throw all the toxic counters out. That's a 1 green cost. Defiling Interference. 2 cost, 2 green. Counter, when it's played, you may activate this trap when your opponent plays a clash card. When that clash card enters, it gets -X, -0 till end of turn, where X is that card's initial resource cost. Ooh. We got a playset of those. Infectious Presence. Yeah, this is one that I've got in the other deck as well. 4 green. When it enters, put 3 toxic counters on this card. At the end of your turn, remove a toxic counter from this card. Then, if this card has no toxic counters on it, send it to Oblivion. Non-Harbinger clash cards get -2, -0. Kagan. Yeah, I've got Kagan in my other deck. But I've got the really, really good one in there, too. Blazing Dragon, 4 costs, breakthrough 3/3. When he enters, send target relic to Oblivion. It's a good way of keeping somebody else from getting their relics and their accessories and stuff. Tattered Shackleblade. 2 green to cast, 2 green to attach. Attached contender can't be the target of clash buffs. Ooh. That is good and bad. Attached contender gets this trigger. On attack, draw 1 card. Then you may discard any number of cards. This card gets 1/0, +1/+0 till end of turn for each card you discarded this way. Weapons can only be attached to a Pestilence contender. Alright, Plague Forged Scrap. 1 cost accessory. When it enters, you may activate the portal. During your primary phase, if the effect of a Pestilence Clash card you control defeats an opposing card, you may send this card to Oblivion if you do draw a card. So a little card draw there. Punishment. Yep, got this one as well. 1 cost, action, counter. When they play, you may only play this card when an opponent plays a Clash buff on their turn. Target non-attacking Clash card gets -3, -3. I think I've got a set of 4 in my other deck. Alright, and last but not least, I am Decay. 3 green. If you control a Pestilence Contender, this card costs 1 less. Discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. If Portal is open, distribute X toxic counters among any number of target Clash cards you don't control, where X is equal to the number of cards you discarded this turn. Until end of turn, Clash cards you control get +0/+1 for each toxic counter distributed this way. Nice. So very, very nice decks. I kind of like those. I may hang on to them in their base format here and see if Spartan wants to play them, see what he likes, see what he doesn't like, and if he's interested in getting his hands on this other war. If not, I may end up keeping it just to start my own war deck, which I'll probably end up doing that. I'll start my own war deck off of this one. There may be some cards in here that he wants to trade out for some of the stuff in his deck, just to beef it up a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna make me a nice little war deck. I've already got the precon built up. So, but there's always options. Me and Spartan are always working back and forth trying to get as much figured out as we can to make our, at least make ourselves a good couple of strong decks. So that way we're getting into it. We're down for a match of this. We've got several different card games we play through, but we always make sure we got a good strong couple of decks that we like to fight up. We do Versus, we do Gundam, we've got they've got Digimon, which I still have not jumped in on a Digimon match with him, Spartan and his brother. But we've got, Alpha Clash, we've got Gundam, we've got Versus, we've got Magic. Got a couple of Versus decks. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. The Digimon. Oh man, I think there's one more card game that I just can't remember off the top of my head. But there you go. That's the 2-player precon kit for Alpha Clash. Thank you all for joining me today. Hope you all have a happy, safe, fun week. I will catch you all in the next videos. Y'all take it easy. Later.